Brett Strong, Internet Skeptic, series titled 60 Seconds or Less, where I utterly destroy the world's top Christian apologists in 60 seconds or less. Actually, give me a couple more minutes than 60 seconds, but you know, once again, as I always say, I love the title, so it stays. Up to bat will be Sye Bruggencate. He's not one of the world's top Christian apologists, okay? Maybe in the top latter half of 1,000. Maybe he's in the top 700 to 1,000. I don't know. He seems like a cool guy. He's a presuppositionist, so I'll include him. Sye Bruggencate, the crux of his argument is the Bible is true because it says it's true. He will tell you flat out. He will parrot that some way, somehow, in a debate and lecture. The Bible is true because it says it's true. First of all, he cannot prove the Christian God exists. I don't need to disprove the Christian God exists. I just need to show him and you and the people I'm debating in front of lecture that he can't prove the Christian God exists, so he's imagining. He's stuck in the imagination zone, just like all Christian apologists. Sye Bruggencate cannot prove the Christian God exists. Can't. He can imagine the Christian God exists, but he can't prove it. So when Sye Bruggencate starts off with the Christian God, he's imagining that he exists. He's speculating. He's hoping. He's believing. But he can't prove it. So he's stuck. His argument stops right there. Your Christian God, Sye Bruggencate, you can't prove it. You can imagine it. That's what you're doing, Sye Bruggencate. When you say Christian God, you're imagining your Christian God exists. You're believing it. But you can't prove it, so you're stuck in the imagination zone. So Sye Bruggencate is stopped already with the Christian God when you just say, hey, stop right there, Sye Bruggencate. The Christian God, you can't prove he exists. You're imagining he exists, but you can't prove it. And it's okay to imagine. Kids imagine the fairy tale, the Easter Bunny. We all love to imagine the fanciful in our minds. Okay. But he needs to stop saying as if the Christian God exists and it's a fact. No, it's not a fact. And he can't prove it's a fact. He can only imagine, assume. And that's okay. So, Sye Bruggencate, just off the basis of Christian God, you're proven to be just imagining the Christian God exists. But I don't want to end it that quick, because that's less than 60 seconds. I got to go a couple more minutes, so let's go further. Sye Bruggencate, once again, he likes to go beyond the Christian God and go, well, the Bible is true because it says it's true. Now, this is interesting, because he's dogmatic. The Bible is true because it says it's true. How do you know the Bible is true? Because it says it's true. It's true because the Bible says it's true. It's like someone taking a Harry Potter book and taking the core of the Harry Potter book and saying, Harry Potter book is true because it says it's true. How do you know the Harry Potter book is true? Because it says it's true. Therefore, the Harry Potter book is true. That's what Sye Bruggencate is doing with the Bible. The Bible is true because it says it's true. So I'm like, okay, I want to entertain you a little bit, Sye Bruggencate. Let's check out this Bible of yours. What we have in the Bible, in the Old Testament, we have a snake and a donkey talk. I mean, the snake and the donkey, they speak perfect Hebrew, and they have conversations with people. So you got a snake having a Hebrew conversation with people, and you got a donkey having a Hebrew conversation with people. So that's kind of odd. That sounds science fiction to me. Like, you got a snake that talks, and not only is talking to a man and woman, but debating them. And very clever in the conversation. So you got a snake talking perfect Hebrew to humans, and you got a donkey speaking perfect Hebrew. You got a donkey saying basically, why did you hit me? I mean, you got a snake and donkey. It's like Shrek. You got talking animals. So that's kind of odd. That's like science fiction right there. Then you got a woman who turns into a pillar of salt. A woman turns into a pillar of salt. Was it table salt? I don't know. Wasn't there to taste it. So that's kind of odd. That's kind of science fiction. This is Sye Bruggencate's main source. The Bible is true because it says it's true. So let's continue on in Sye Bruggencate's his core, the Bible. So we got a snake and donkey speaking perfect Hebrew, talking, debating human. We got a woman who turns into pillar salt. We got a guy who hits a rock and water comes from a rock. Wow. We got the same guy, he splits a sea in half and a whole nation walks through it. Can you imagine someone standing in Miami and hitting the ocean, and the ocean splits between Miami and the Bahamas, and the whole state of Floridians walk through the dry ground between Miami and the Bahamas because supernaturally the ocean split in half? Wow. We also have a food come from the sky for 40 years. Food. It wasn't pancakes, I guess. I guess it was manna. We also had a guy named Samson. He grew his hair super long. He had superhuman strength. Pretty cool guy, man. He stayed with a prostitute, kicked a lot of butt. I like him. So we got a snake and donkey talking, perfect Hebrew, debating humans. We got a woman turned to pillow salt. We got water coming from a rock. We got a guy splitting a sea in half. We got food coming from the sky for 40 years. It wasn't pancakes, but it was manna. We got a man with long hair that has superhuman strength. We got 3 guys, Meshach and those guys, 3 guys standing in the middle of a furnace. Sipping pina coladas. And they make it out alive. 3 guys. And that's just the Old Testament, folks. The New Testament, we got a superhero character named Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus, superhero character. The guy is super famous in the book. People love him. People follow him around. He has some haters, but he's followed by the masses. He does all kinds of miracles. Not only does he do all kinds of miracles, over 50,000 miracles, but he flies in the air. He disappears in the thin air. He appears out of thin air. This guy, his face turns into the sun. He walks on water. He turns water into wine. This guy is totally a cool character, but it's super. This is Sye Bruggencate's foundation, the Bible. This is what we get. And then you go to Revelation. We got some guy talking about visions of monsters in heaven, like a 7-headed monster beast with 7 heads, and another one on earth, another dragon on earth, I guess, with 7 heads. I mean, this is Sye Bruggencate's foundation, the Bible. And look what we're looking at. We're looking at a snake and donkey talking. We got a woman turned into a pillar of salt. We got water come from a rock. We got a sea split in half. We got food come from the sky. We got a man with long hair that has superhuman strength. We got 3 guys hanging out in the middle of a furnace. And in the New Testament, we got a superhero character flying in the air, dissipating thin air, appearing out of thin air, face turned into the sun. It acts, this superhero character is levitating in the sky behind floodlights, yelling down to a guy named Paul, saying, "Hey, Paul, cut it out." And this superhero character, he's a cool guy. I mean, but, sounds like science fiction. And in Revelation, you got all kinds of beasts, and Jesus coming back on a flying white horse, and beasts in heaven, and they had a war in heaven. And this is Sye Bruggencate's main source. The Bible. This is fairy tales, folks. I mean, it's okay to believe in fairy tales. It's okay for Sye Bruggencate to believe this is real, but come on, folks. When you look at the basis of the Bible, you have to say, okay, this is not real. This is fairy tales. And it's okay, Christians, to believe in fairy tales. Just don't be dogmatic, because when you're dogmatic, one has to just show you like all these things in the Bible, and you have to say, and they would say to you, come on, do you really want to put force behind these, talking snakes and donkeys and food coming from the sky and guy flying in the air, disappearing? I mean, come on. So that's 60 seconds or less. Sye Bruggencate utterly destroyed. Till next time, folks, Brett Strong signing off.